replaced my Action 4 with an Action 5 when it came out, and to be honest, I've been a little bit disappointed with the 5 because of exposure changes, and also I found that in high sun especially, the effect of the sort of HDR, the top end on my skin, makes me almost look like a plastic doll. So I wanted an alternative to take with me to Spain in bright sun, and I didn't think the Action 5 would cut it. I like the original Ace Pro. It's a great camera. I like its zoom. Its colour profile tends to go towards the red, but that's easily dialed out. But generally, it's a great camera. So I replaced my original Ace Pro with the Ace Pro 2, this one. And the nice thing about these cameras is you can turn that HDR off. And to be honest, when I'm in the sun and I'm using it to take pictures of me with my skin, I think I prefer, in all cases, possibly the HDR to be off. Although the HDR on this camera is nothing like the HDR on the Action 5. It's a bit more subtle, I think. So I'm using the Ace with the HDR switched off, even though I'm in bright sun. But if I get anything where I think, oh, that's going to be too contrasty maybe, then I'll turn the HDR on. But for skin tone, I think I might prefer it off. I've got pretty good stabilization going on here, and I'm underexposing slightly just in case it wants to overexpose any highlights. There are always discussions going on about which camera is best. Is it the Action 5 or the Ace Pro 2? But in my opinion, they all have their strengths and weaknesses, and I just use whatever is going to work for me. But for me, the zoom on the Ace Pro 2 is going to be a handy thing, especially when I'm on board a ship. So that's one thing, the reason why I'll probably use it for my tour, my cruise. The other thing is the colour seems to be more vibrant. It slightly airs, I think, on the red side, but I'll just take that down a bit in post. It's not a hardship. Don't particularly worry too much about the fact that it's 8-bit or 10-bit. For me, it's not that biggie, not that much of a biggie, because I don't need to do much in post to this picture. This is in a standard picture profile. I can put it to vivid if I want to, but I find standard is actually pretty good. For the audio, I'm just using the audio from the camera. Not even got a microphone, and it's on voice enhancement at the moment. Indoors, the voice enhancement tends to sound a bit thicker, but it's better outside. Inside, I think I would turn it off actually, because it's just that little bit clearer, and it edits up well. It edits as well, really well actually. You could get a good audio from this camera just from the internal mic, so that's handy, no mic. So although it's not quite as warm here in England as it will be in Spain, we have got the brightness going on, so I'm just dodging in and out of sunlight and shade just to see what happens to my skin tones, as I say, with the HDR switched off entirely. To compensate, just underexpose slightly, as I would do on the Action 5 as well. The biggest advantage of this camera for me is the zoom, I think, though. That's the thing that's really going to be useful. Action cameras with their wide lenses normally can't catch my little waterfall at the back here. It's too far away and it's so small and looks insignificant on most action cams, but it's okay with this one because of the zoom. The zoom is really handy. Now, I can even zoom while I'm taking a video, so if I just tap on it now, you can see I'll put it a bit further away now, that I can zoom in even while I'm videoing, and that's a very useful thing on a camera, I think. So I'm not making this video just to advocate one camera over the other. That would be a bit silly. Each camera has its weaknesses and they both have their strengths as well. So, you know, there are different things with each camera, but this is just an experiment purely on my part as to how my camera is going to cope when I'm in Spain and I've got blue skies and sun going on. I hope anyway. I'm still taking an umbrella, but just to see how my skin looks in the sun when I've got the HD turned off, and hopefully it's not blown out and doesn't look nasty, and everything looks fairly natural. One big advantage of the Action 5 is the fact that you can connect wireless microphones to it. That's a great bonus, but you still got to put it on your clothes somewhere, and when you're on holiday you don't always want a fluffy hanging from your t-shirt, or your, in my case, your Hawaiian shirt, so you don't want that always. So again, I'm using this just with the microphone in the camera to see if this is more usable this way, because it just makes it that much lighter for me. So this is a test just for me using the Ace Pro 2 rather than the Ace Pro or the Action 5 to see how it copes in bright sunlight, what it does to skin tones in particular, what it looks like when I'm walking along with it on a stick here, what the stabilization is like, what the colors are like, and basically does it get blown out or look nasty with the HDR switched off. From what I see on the screen, it's looking pretty okay actually. And some of the shots that I've taken today wouldn't have been possible on the Action 5 because of that zoom. Just for those people who wonder what it's like by the road, this is what it's like by the road when you're using the internal microphone. Oh, hang on, I'll wait, there's a car coming, so you'll be able to see. If I keep talking, if you can hear me, you're doing really well, because that was dead close. He drove past me about 2 feet, 3 feet, so that was close. So if this is working, here goes another one. You can hear me. Mike's doing its job, innit? Ah, home. Might treat myself to a cold drink now.